A quick video on some syntactic analysis review. Now, please note the first few pages of the Vade Mecum, or pardon me, your omnibus binder, we have these sentences that should be the examples of how you do analysis. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to be the T word, trying. So in this first sentence, fortune semper e favit, if we were to analyze all sentences, of course, are statement clauses if they have a period. So we have one simple statement clause, favors, subject is subordinate in this clause, object phrase. That tells us that in this clause right here, fortune is the subject of favit. Now, let's look at a bit more complex. So we're dealing with a relative adverb clause. And here we have, as you can see, and I'll maybe make a little laser pointer or something that'll show it. Oh, no, yeah, there it is. A little bit of a laser pointer, a little bit of a pen. I'll try it that way. So you start with est. You have two verbs. You have amant, you have est. So if it's got no other signals, it's part of your statement clause. Love. Who loves? Many men, subject phrase, love this girl. This is another verb, so where's your clause signal? It's right here with the quod. Because. That means that you have, of course, a relative adverb clause that is being signified there. It describes the reason why they love the girl. So straightforward, finite verbs, etc., etc. Now, let's move on a little farther. That next clause we did was a complement clause. So you have a wolo and an emere. The wolo is your finite verb form. That means it has person number, first singular. And the emere is a present infinitive active. In complement clauses, it has no tense, no aspect, no mood. Simply translated as to buy. So in this clause, I want complement clause infinitive subordinate to that to buy object phrase this shop, dative indirect, for Clemens. Piece of cake. You could also have a predicate infinitive clause where you have a sum verb, right? It is easy infinitive to buy. That's how those work. Now this next clause here, let's play with the relative adjective clause. So we have the sentence in your omnibus binder of the libertus. There it is. Qui senex obstinatus erat, operis pecuniam dare noluit. So you have two verbs, noluit, dare, but you also have the qui clause, a relative adjective clause. So the whole thing would be, where are we at? Oh, big sentence. The freedman did not want to what? Complement clause with the infinitive, to buy. That's in a complement clause, infinitives have no tense and no aspect. Or pardon me, not to buy, but to give money, dative indirect object, to the hired thugs. So he did not want money, he did not want hired thugs. This complement clause right here controls the hired thugs and the money because it's dare. Now what about your relative adjective clause? What can we say about that? The qui is modifying libertus, so it's subordinate, that means underneath libertus. The qui signifies gender number case, who was stubborn old man. And I've done these for all of the stuff we've covered so far. So this is a good one. Oh, I just hinted on how you should be doing the analysis tonight for those who didn't get it done. But let's work at this one right here. We did in class. So memor was standing, right? What can we say about memor? Notice a circumstance clause signified by gerunds. Standing is not standing, it's what? Wearing. See? Got to fix that. Wearing a what? A purple, not swearing, wearing a purple toga. Now, how to do indirect statement clauses. Stuff that we covered in the grammar lecture, but I'm going to give you a little bit farther. So you have this head verb, deco. Now, these aren't in the translations yet, but these are supposed to be in the notes. And you have mittere. Infinitives aren't translated as to. That depends on their clause. Well, why isn't this a complement clause? Because you have a head verb here. I say. Head verbs, verbs of information processing, govern indirect statement clauses. You could have direct, or in this case, indirect statement. To send. I say that, the may, the accusative becomes the subject phrase, that I am sending or send letters. Notice the infinitive and indirect statement clauses, present infinitive. Technically, it's a progressive aspect. Could be a simple if you want to. Where do you get the present from? From the head verb. Active, and then finally quotative mode. So I say that I send or am sending letters. If it were passive, I say, we have another infinitive here, that subject phrase may, it's accusative, that I, now it's not active though, it's a passive infinitive. Where do you get the tense from? From the head verb. That I am sent or I am being sent, right? Ab plus the ablative by my Father. So indirect statement clauses, this is why we're doing this, because indirect statement clauses are number one goal, and they're very common in Latin. So we're not going to hold off. We're going to get into it early. When you have the head verb and the infinitive, you always get your tense from the head verb. So present tense here, present tense. That's why it's in quotation, in parentheses there. All right, so tomorrow, those who didn't get syntactic analysis done, I really, really, really want it done. You don't have to get it perfect. You just need to start playing around with it. Like all things, the more practice you have, the better off you'll be. All right. Well, I look forward to seeing that tomorrow, and tomorrow will be 23.01, take 2. Questions, if you need anything, contact me or see me tomorrow morning. Till that time, take care.